What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Off the Couch Boxing. I am your host, Reckless Rex Ruger. That, of course, is the Alexis Arguello puppet. We, of course, are back with another banger of an episode. When don't we have a banger of an episode? But, hey, we're doing it again. My boxing brethren, here we go again with another great one. Of course, y'all know what we do here, the most amazing and real boxing conversations anywhere on planet Earth. Legends, luminaries, world champions, and fighters on the come up, coming here to chop it up with your boy Reckless Rex. And like I said, today is no different. We got another great one, fresh off of a victory on that amazing stream the other night, August 30th, Toledo, Ohio, headlined by Albert Prince Bell. This young man, Jeffrey Hudson Jr., notched himself another knockout victory. He's here now. We'll chop it up with him. Let's get down to it, man. I'm excited. You're excited. Let's do it. All right, Jeffrey, do I got you, man?
All right, one second.
Yeah.
Just about got me in, man. All right.
We got him. We just got to get your camera up. There he is, man. Fresh off of a victory, man. Look at him. He's doing a victory lap around the house. I like it. and you know what? You should be. You should be, my friend. You should be.
Yeah, man.
Hey, listen, I tapped into the stream. And first of all, let me say, Ohio, man, and I've had a lot of Ohio guys on here. Great boxing community, man. You guys should, you guys should be proud, man. The town showed up. The stream was a bit annoying. They got to get their shit together with the stream. Not you guys' fault, man, but a lot of technical issues, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I was still a great show. You guys all performed great. Now, usually when I start these things, man, I always like to kind of go back to the beginning, man. Well, how'd the boxing journey start for you, man? What age did you get a pair of boxing gloves on?
Well, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm kind of like a late bloomer, but I'm naturally talented just from all different sports. You know what I mean? But I started boxing when I was 17 years old.
Okay.
I started boxing with my granddad, which is Michael Smith. Yeah, and that's how I started.
Late bloomer, though. So do you feel like that's like an advantage or a disadvantage? I guess there's two schools of thought. I mean, a lot of people start real young.
To be completely honest with you, I think it's an advantage. A lot of people say it's a disadvantage. I think it's an advantage because of the simple fact how much fire I got in me. A lot of guys, they start at 8 years old, 7, so forth, and they get kind of burnt out with the sport because when you're training at an elite high level and to stay competitive and to be able to compete, constantly fighting every weekend in the amateurs, fighting on these national tournaments, all that, you get kind of burnt out. So at my age, I started kind of late. So, and when I started, we ain't take no breaks. We just went straight forward. My grandfather, Michael Smith, ended up passing away, and I ended up getting with Team Cartel. And once I got with Team Cartel with my coach, which is Rob Mufford, we've been going at it hard. We've been at all the club shows all over the country. We've been at all the national tournaments all over the country. So, yeah.
And where do you feel like you are, because you did start late, 26 years old, where do you feel like you are in terms of your prime? Do you feel like you're in the midst of it or not even there yet?
I ain't even close to my prime yet.
No.
I'm not even close to my prime yet. I don't think I'm going to hit my prime until I'm like 32, 33.
Okay. And so you talked about your grandfather, but what was really the impetus for going to the boxing gym? I talked to a lot of boxers on here. A lot of them are getting into street fights that they have a natural
see, a lot of guys get into street fights and all that, but I really come from the streets. Like I grew up in the projects. Like I grew up in something called the Moody Manors. And long story short, like my childhood was rough. It was a lot of murders. It was a lot of guys who was getting killed, doing their life in prison, going to jail for the rest of their life. I had young friends getting killed, 12, 13. My grandmother actually was killed. It was a lot of violence in my family. It wasn't fights, it was gun violence. So that type of thing, I either looked at it like this, either it's gonna be jail, the grave, or give myself a chance at boxing and change my life, my family life, and the people's life around me,
And so you made mention earlier, man, at the top of the interview, man, that you did feel like an element of it came natural to you. Explain that a little bit. Like, were you just always athletic?
I feel like I was always athletic. I played so many different sports. I actually was a highly recruited guy. I was a baseball guy coming up. I played baseball, I played rugby, football, basketball. I played so many different sports. And to be completely honest with you, I wasn't really ever bad at a sport. I always compete at a good level to
Yeah.
be able to compete. And once I transitioned to boxing, it's like everything was just flowing for me. You know what I mean? It wasn't
Yeah.
like it just everything was flowing. Then once I started fighting and things like that, got the winning, confidence start building. I took some losses to give me lessons to show me what I needed to work on and what I need to improve on. And yeah, and it just showed like in this kind to this day I'm steady improving, getting better. But it's like God from a guy that where I started and where I'm at now, it's like it's crazy. It's
And
crazy.
so when you look at your record on paper, obviously, you see 5-0, you see 5 knockouts. It's easy to say, hey, this guy's got dynamite in his hands. He's a knockout artist. But maybe that's not a fair assessment of what you do, and there are other layers to your game. How would you, if someone hasn't seen you fight, how would you explain your style?
My style is a boxer puncher style. The way how my coach, trained me, the way that, we implement our game plans and things like that. We have so many different skills. It's crazy. We can
Yeah.
box, we can box, we can bang, we can move, we can use defense, we can do anything that we need to do to get the win. See, one thing about my coach, he always tell us, and one thing that we believe in, we don't care if we got to make it ugly to win. We don't care
Right.
if we got to make it look ugly. We not here to showboat. We not here to look pretty. We here to win. We here to show that these guys is not on our level, and we here to just to show that we have the actual skills to get us on that big stage. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. And so the other night, because you are coming off a performance, I mentioned before you got in here, at the time of recording this, it's September 1st. So you just performed 2 nights ago, which you don't even
Yeah.
look like you were in a damn fight, and you really weren't, because it wasn't very competitive from your opponent's side. You made pretty quick work of them. How would you assess your performance the other night?
I give myself a C minus.
Okay, and why
I
a
give
C minus
myself a
though?
C,
Because a lot of
and I'm
people would
gonna
look at
give a
that and
C.
say successful.
And I'm gonna give a C minus because of the simple fact I feel like just me just knowing like I need to learn how to slow things down. Even though I can get guys out of there, I need to learn how to give myself some rounds. You know what I mean? Because
Okay.
I'm gonna be completely honest. And I'm gonna say this in the humblest way. It don't matter who I fight. It don't matter what their record is. It don't matter if they 0-20. It don't matter if they 20-0. I'm gonna make every guy look the exact same way that I made him look.
Yeah, yeah.
The
And you need
exact
that kind
same
of
way.
confidence. You need that kind of
Yes.
confidence.
Yes.
That doesn't come off as braggadocious in the boxing game, man,
Yeah,
because
because
you need that.
Yeah, because a guy like me, when I was going to those national tournaments, I was beating those number one seeds.
Right,
I wasn't a
right,
guy that was always number one seeded, number two, number three seeded, and I was just fighting guys who was fresh into the nationals and never had a national fight before.
right,
No, when I was at the national, I always had hard national fights. Not only that, all my fights is elite open.
right.
I've been fighting elite open guys with 100+ amateur fights since going into my 5th amateur fight. I had
O-
50 amateur fights, so I
Okay.
fought 50 grown men.
Right,
So,
right,
so with that being said, it's different. A lot of these guys be 18, 20-time national champions, but
right.
they fought bantam and intermediate and youth and junior male and and all that. No, I fought all grown men, and when you fight grown men that has the will to want to win, is different. You know what I
Changes
mean?
changes your
It
experience level. Yeah,
it changed it. It changed it. Not only that, I fought international as well. When
yeah,
you have international experience, that just a plus to your resume. You know what I mean? And I feel like the amateurs is actually harder than the pros. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry to say it, but I feel like it's harder than the pros. I just always looked at it like, yeah, going in, you're gonna build yourself up. You're gonna fight some guys, but man, a lot of these guys is not as it's not what it seemed to be. It just look good.
right, right. Now, are you a guy who has a natural tendency? And I guess you need this kind of drive, to succeed at this level. Are you a guy that's it's particularly hard on yourself? Like you're giving yourself a C minus when most people would look at your performance and say, that's a pretty successful night. Maybe you're being hard on yourself. Or are you just a guy that's hard on yourself quite a bit?
And well, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, man. I'm a guy that's real hard on myself, you know. I'm a guy that's real hard on myself, and that's why I train so hard. I'm a guy that runs 10 miles a day,
Right.
train 2 to 3 times,
Yep.
in one day. I'm training almost 6 days a week. I don't believe in half stepping, you know what I mean? Neither do my team cartel. The guys that I train with, we have the best sparring, the hardest sparring. We don't have no easy sparring. My coaches make sure that we're ready for anything. So, telling you, man.
When you got into the game at 17, were there guys that you were watching that you were learning from, studying?
The guys that I was studying, Canelo Alvarez, of course.
Yep.
I love Julio Chavez Sr. I love Felix Trinidad. I love Aaron Pryor, and I love Sugar Ray.
A lot of throwback guys.
Yeah, and not only that, I love Andre Berto as well.
Okay. And so to deviate from your own career for a second, I just want to get your opinion because we are about to see, and they're very rare in boxing, a super fight. You brought up Canelo's name. How do you see Canelo and Bud shaking out?
I'm going to be completely honest, man. I'm a #1 Canelo fan. I love Canelo. That's my favorite fighter. I'm a Canelo head. But I can't go against Bud. I'm sorry. I can't go against Bud. Bud, everybody think that he's small and all that. No, he's not. He just cut weight. I'm a guy that understand how this game works. See, Bud is a big guy. That's what a lot of if you look at when they keep going and having they face off something like that, Bud kind of look bigger than Canelo.
He looks bigger, and a lot of people don't know this, but he's got a wrestling background. He's a deceptively strong guy. I've had Bomac on the podcast a couple times, man. Bud is a dog. He's got that in him.
Yeah, but Bud is but don't get it twisted. I don't know if he can take Canelo power.
Yeah, and Canelo's a very hard guy to knock out too, man. A legendary chin.
And not only that, Crawford had a problem with that guy at 54.
Yes.
He had a problem with him. And that may make me like, I don't know, but I just feel like in this training camp that he definitely gonna make the tweaks and the necessary adjustments to make everything happen to win. So I'm leaning towards Bud.
Okay, fair enough. And you haven't had to experience this yet, but as a young fighter, does this cross your mind going to the scorecards? I've been very critical on this podcast. Obviously, I love the sport. We do still see a lot of bad judging, a lot of bad scorecards turned in. Have you experienced this? Obviously, not at a professional level because you've knocked everybody out, which is a good way to get around the problem. But have you experienced it on any level? A scorecard being read and you thinking, damn, I'm going to get shit on here.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Yes, I experienced scorecards that I feel like that should have went my way in the amateurs, but I'm a firm believer in and just believing in the judges. What the judges saw, whatever they scored, that's what it is. I don't like to go around robbery, because that kind of like that kind of like mess with you in the head as a fighter. You know what I mean? I feel like that kind of like mess up your character. Like, obviously you gave these guys something to look at to say that, you know what I mean, that they giving him the fight. You know what I mean? Something you could have did better. Something you could have moved, and you could have moved your head. You could have missed some shots. You could have blocked some shots. Maybe you could have let your hands go more. So I try not to really get into the robbery thing. You know what I mean? But don't get me wrong. It's some robberies out here. People getting robbed. It's definitely some out here. It's definitely, but that comes with the money, the politics and the sport, these promoters, these guys, these big names. So that type of stuff don't always happen though.
What would you like to accomplish in the sport? What goals have you set for yourself? Obviously, everyone wants to be a world champion, but specifically, what would you like the legacy to be?
My legacy to be, man, I just want to be able to carry it, man. Make the Hudson name, a big name in boxing. Be able to grab some titles in the small weights and go up, obviously. But and all in all, I just want to be financially stable. You know what I mean? I want to be able to live comfortably out the boxing and be able to take care of my kids, my family, my girl, my mom, and things like that, and just be able to live comfortable. I don't want to have to stress after boxing. I don't want to have to work. I don't want to have to, you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
my long term goal, regardless of the titles or not. You know what I mean? I just want to be financially stable.
And where do you see yourself in terms of course, you would know your own body. You're currently at featherweight. Do you feel like you'll explore other weight classes? And where is your ceiling?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I can make 122 pounds.
Okay.
I can make 122 pounds. But we just been. I feel like we gonna campaign at 126 though. But I'm not moving up no time soon until I get a belt.
Okay. Okay. So 126 will be home for the
It's
foreseeable
home.
future.
They
Yeah.
those guys with those belts got to see me.
Okay. Okay. And
Those guys with those belts got to see. I don't care. I get a strap and move up, but I got to get a strap. I'm not leaving the division until I get a belt.
And when do you feel like, have you and your team discussed a timeline? I know you're only 5 fights in, but we do see guys fight for belts with a lot less fights under their belt nowadays. Well,
Yeah.
realistically, when do you think we'll see it?
Yeah,
2026?
so I talk it over with my manager Ryan Dickey, and also my guy Vic Paws, Vic Green. I say I say late 2026, middle
Okay.
2026. You know
Okay.
what I mean? We're gonna fight 2, 3 more times this year. Then probably try to go after the NABF belt, and then
Sure.
after that, get us in those WBC rankings, or try to get into the WBO organization or IBF or whatever, one of the sanctioned bodies, and
Mm-hmm.
then we gonna go after those guys that's highly ranked in that organization, and we gonna take it from there and see what we can make happen.
Have you thought about, because you seem like a pretty calculated guy who thinks things out, have you thought about how long you'd like to be in the sport? How many fights you'd like to fight at a certain age that you might want to not still be doing this at?
To be honest with you, I want to be done with the sport of boxing by 37.
Okay. Okay.
So I
Why
want to get it
37
done.
specific? Well, no, why 37 specifically?
I just feel like by the time I'm 37, I will be at my breaking point with it.
Yeah.
Unless if it's big money on
Yeah.
the table. No, but if it's big money on the table, I'll go to 40.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll push it a few more years. Yeah.
No doubt. No
But
doubt.
and have you given thought to what life looks like after you hang the gloves up? Do you feel like you'll always keep a foot in the sport? Are you interested in
I
promoting
definitely
or
will.
coaching or training?
After the sport of boxing, I want to be a coach for Team Cartel.
Okay.
And
Okay.
help the amateurs coming up, and try to give me some national champions along the way, and help those guys achieve their dreams, and show these guys it's another way than getting into the streets and things like that, because in my city it's very small, but it's a lot of guys that get turned down the wrong way that could have actually went the right way, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Now what alliances, friendships, working relationships have you formed with any of the other guys in Ohio?
Oh, a lot, man. Man, everybody around Ohio. One thing about us, Ohio, we stick together. Like the saying says, and like the page say,
Yeah.
Ohio runs boxing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
I see
we
the shirt. I see
all,
the t-shirt all the time. I see the t-shirt
yeah,
all the
man. We
time.
we all we all click tight. Like we all, I can give you a million different names, but I'm real known. So like all of the guys, the up and comers, the guys who's about to be fighting for titles,
Yep.
just all of it, all of us, we stick together. We stick as one, and we all try to stay as humble as possible, and try to have a relevant friendship, and
Yeah.
we all pretty tight. We all good.
I tuned in. But like I said, I tuned in the stream the other night. I was very happy to see. I've had Lavars Carter on the podcast. He did well. Albert Bell's been on 3 or 4 times, so I was very happy to see him do his thing as well, man. Yeah, he looked great too.
Yeah, man, you try to get on. I was supposed to get on the other day. I couldn't do it, man. I was cut that weight. I would have been on here like.
I know. It's difficult. And I completely understand. And obviously, doing almost 300 episodes of this podcast, I've had that scenario play out before. Obviously, me being a huge boxing fan, I completely understand that because I would want a guy, to be dialed in and have his eyes on the goal, man. I mean, I've had guys like say, hey, it's a little close to fight week. It's a little close to, is it all right if we postpone? You know what I mean? So, yeah, I completely understand them. And you got a job to do.
Yeah, man. You know how it is. It's nothing personal, man. It's just business.
Yeah.
The fight itself, and nothing else matter if we ain't winning.
Right.
If winning ain't everything, it's the only thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we gotta lock in, focus, block out everything, and make sure we get the job done. Now the job is done. We can eat good, we can
Yeah.
smile, we can talk on the
Yes.
FaceTime.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. And now, again, for people that haven't seen what you do, you described your fighting style, but what would you say in the ring is your best attribute? The weapon that you're most proud of in your game.
I'm gonna just say this. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Power.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Power.
Yeah.
Everybody I hit, when they say I hit them, it's so they got about I'm the hardest guy to ever hit them.
And what do you attribute that to? What do you, is that learned? Is that inherited? Where's the power come from?
It comes from the genes, man.
Yeah.
James Hudson Sr., and Wayne Banks, man. Those guys, my granddad, those
Okay.
guys was some fit older guys. I mean, they
Okay.
were 60, 65 years old, walking around with six packs. You
Okay.
know, it runs in a family. We have real good strength. Like I have a cousin that's actually in the NFL right now, James Hudson III. He start guard. I mean, he start tackle for the New York Giants. Like we
That's my
have
team.
real.
That's my team.
Yeah,
Hey.
yeah. Number 66. Number
Yeah.
66. That's my first cousin. So like,
Okay.
yeah, so like we is real strong guys, we have real strength. But don't get it twisted. I don't want people to think I'm just relying on power because I can box. I can punch you up all day, all rounds. I can do that too. Just like my sparring. I spar 8 rounds, 4 different guys. Like, you know what I mean? And every guy got different styles. So I can do it all. I'm telling you.
And so when will you fight again, man? Do you have your eyes set on a date?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My we supposed to be fighting again October 18th.
Okay. Okay. And again, I want to go back to your fight the other night because I'm so interested in the fact that. Well, let me ask you this first. Because you mentioned it not being personal before. Our guys, because you seem like such an even tempered guy. But trash talking is obviously a big part of the sport. Are guys ever able to get under your skin? Are you a big trash talk guy?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I talk a lot of shit, but
Okay.
I try to not talk. I try to not talk until they start talking. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like if
Okay.
you pay attention to way in, I got my mouth closed, behind my hands behind my back. But as soon as he get to tooting the horn, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Do it look like I'm playing with you? Okay,
Yeah.
do it look like I'm playing? But
Yeah.
I talk a lot of shit though, because talking shit just gonna bring the people. They get
Yeah.
them excited. It get them into it. One thing about me, I'm a marketing type of guy. I like to
Yeah.
sell myself because if you ain't putting asses in the seat, if
You're right.
nobody don't want to see you, if nobody not interested in your journey is going nowhere. Because
Yeah.
how this game is now is not like back in the day. If you're not a sale, if you're not a likable person, if you're not the guy that everyone wants to see, you got to get this up.
Now,
Now,
another guy
another
who
guy.
markets himself pretty well, and I want to get your opinion on him. A polarizing guy in the boxing world, another Ohio guy, Jake Paul. Where do you stand on what he does and what he's doing for
I
the sport?
I actually love what he does.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of his fight style and all that type of things like that. But the way how he market himself, the way how he get endorsements, the way how he get
right.
sponsorship, the way how he promote himself, you know what I mean? And the business move that he's making is great. And it's because hey, he's a genius. He's good at marketing. He's good at getting himself out there. And guess what? He willing in the pay-per-view buys. He willing in ticket sales. He winning in everything, you know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. He's showing the guys the way to make the money, and some guys hate it, but they
Yeah,
need to be sitting back studying and getting, little views on what he doing and, implementing to their game. Because that's what all I'm doing.
yeah. Now I watched you, at the weigh-in for your fight the other night, and you were
Uh-huh.
cut up, man, in tremendous shape, man. What kind of camp did you have for this fight? Because it looks like, man, you were grinding, man.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I have a great camp, but one thing about me, I can't speak for everybody, but I train like my life depended on it.
It looks
I
it.
put my all into this boxing game. I'm a guy who sleep, eat shit boxing.
Yeah.
Like even my baby son throwing punches. Like
Uh-oh.
my whole life is just boxing. You know what I mean? I don't play with this. I don't play with this. And what I eat and how I train, it shows. You know what I mean? And that
Yeah.
goes for everybody in this boxing world.
Yeah.
So whatever you doing behind closed doors, whatever you sneaking and eating, whatever you doing this, you ain't running the miles, you ain't hitting the bags, you ain't hitting the mitts, you ain't getting the sparring. If you ain't doing it, it's gonna show. It's gonna
Yeah.
show.
I just felt a certain kind of way when you said that you could see what I'm eating, man. Listen, man. I'm feeling a little guilty. Now I'm feeling a little guilty, man. Like you might have known about that cotton candy ice cream I was down in last
Man,
night,
I'm
man.
so
You're right.
weak.
Yeah, you're right. I got to get myself right, man. I got to get back
I
focused, man.
mean, but
This is
it's
gonna help.
true though. It's true.
Yeah,
It's true. It's going to
it is.
show that the
Yeah.
work is going to speak for itself.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now you mentioned the 126-pound champions and having to, as you put it, see you. Who do you look at 126 pounds without us starting too much trouble and calling any guys out? You know, are there guys that you look at stylistically and say, "Hey, that guy's got a belt, man," but you know, I could see myself matching up with him.
I'll fight any guy, any champion. I'll fight
Okay,
Nick Saul. I will fight any one of them. Any champion at 126 pounds. I would say this. I wouldn't say right at this moment
right.
because there's levels to this game, and you got to
Sure.
respect the game.
Yep.
You know, you got to respect the game and not move too fast because the game will humble you.
Yep.
But I'm telling you, any champion in the next year to 14 months, I say 15 months top.
Yeah.
15 months from now, anybody who got a belt, I'm willing to fight them.
Okay. 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 Uh,
Anyone.
okay. That
Because
sounds
you
fair.
know how the game is, man. Hey,
Yeah.
somebody got a belt right now. Hey,
Yep.
4 5 months right now, he might have had that belt.
Right, right. And I like what you said too, man, because you don't hear a lot of young fighters with that kind of poise. You know, they do want things to happen quickly. They do want to, you know, they do want everything to come to them fast. You know, I like what you said there, man, like about the game humbling you. You know what I mean? Because a lot of young fighters do make that mistake.
Yeah, you gotta respect the game, man, and you gotta respect that there's levels to this. You can't just be biting too much more than you could chew. Because I'm gonna tell you like this, man. One thing that I always live by with boxing: once you hot, and they own you. When
Yeah,
you ain't hot no more, they ain't on you no more.
right,
Once they off you, they off you. You know what
right.
I mean? They
Yeah,
on to the next hot thing. That's one
yep,
thing about boxing. You gotta learn how to take this thing slow. Everybody want to complain about your opponents. Everybody want to da, 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 da. But hey, let's be realistic. They don't really know the boxing game. They don't know the boxing world. They just on the
right,
outside looking in, get buying their popcorn and M&Ms and sitting in the stands. They don't really know what this sport is really about and how this thing really
right.
goes. Right. So you gotta be real with yourself. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna
Yep.
always be real with myself. So with that being
Now,
said, I'm not just crashing myself out. I'm being smart about this thing.
I like what you said earlier about the marketing thing. So, and I don't have it here in my notes, man, but I gotta ask because I'm a big nickname guy. What's Jeffrey Hudson Jr.'s boxing nickname? Is there one?
Yeah, the Baskin Shark.
Okay, that's right. Okay, I thought I did see that. Okay, now explain. Now explain the origin of it. I always like to hear the story
Okay,
of
the
like.
origin of it is this, man. Okay, so when I'm in the gym, right, my coach
Mhm.
say I sweat a lot. Like he say I sweat a lot. Like ain't even he say I know. Like I sweat a lot. Like I'm talking about I be having the gym so wet, it be damn near looking like a fucking rain flood.
Okay.
So with that being said, man, I go damn near 50, 40. I be doing like 40 minutes straight on the bag and shit like that and all that. But long story short, the moral of it is like we gonna take you in real deep waters and I'm gonna drown you. You know what
Okay.
I mean? And I'm
Okay.
gonna drown your ass.
Okay.
I'm gonna drown you. And I be so hungry for this shit. and so cut up and so ripped up, I'm gonna eat you like a shark.
It makes
You know what I
sense. It
mean?
makes sense. Now I get it. Now I get it. And hopefully the people get it too, man. Yeah. I mean, I figured a guy like you that put so much emphasis on marketing, man, is not going to be without a nickname. There's no way. There's no way.
The Baskin Shark.
And I'm pretty sure that I did hear it the other night, but because there weren't actually commentators for that stream, and so all you heard was like the house noise, and it was very difficult to hear the announcer, man. You know what I mean? Like through the stream and through the microphone over there, because we were hearing that at home. We were just hearing like the in-house noise, so it was a little bit muffled and a little bit difficult. That would be like my biggest gripe, I think, like with the streamer. I'm gonna talk to Albert, man. He needs me on the broadcast team for the next one, man. Me and my son.
Man. And
my son just did one. So my son used to co-host this podcast with me. Long story short, he's got 4 kids. It got a little hard for him to make every episode. But we just got invited down to Pennsylvania at the beginning of the month from another fighter. We went down and we sat ringside and we had the headsets and we broadcasted. So it was a new experience for us, man. But listen, man, I would love to come down and do an Ohio show.
Yeah, that's awesome. We'd love for you to come down. Yeah,
Oh,
you
man,
got good energy. You got good energy. You follow the sport of boxing. You helping get guys' names out there and things like that.
I'm trying.
So,
man.
Yeah. So we'll love to have you, man. I know.
I say that all the time. Man. I doing almost.
And
300
you got
episodes.
your Ward Johnson hat on. Okay,
I got it, man. Listen,
Marvin Hagler. Okay, now.
It's the summer of Hagler. I don't know why it's the summer of Hagler, but I've called it the summer of Hagler all summer. So, I mean, I've been trying to rock the hat in every episode. But before I let you out of here, man, because you are marketing and promoting, man, if people want to tap in, follow you on your journey, know what's going on in your career. I know everyone's on social media somewhere. Where's the best place to tap in with Jeffrey Hudson Jr.?
Tell them, man, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Man, Jeffrey Hudson Jr. Again, Jeffrey Hudson Jr. The Baskin Shark, man, shark season, man. That's all they gotta follow, man. Jeffrey Hudson Jr. on all platforms.
And listen, man, it was amazing talking to you. Fun conversation. Stay in touch as the career continues to progress. Let's get together and keep having you on, man. I'd love to do it again for sure.
No doubt, man. Man. It's shark season, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Let's go gobble up some belts, man, next year.
You already know. Know.
I appreciate it, man. I'm glad we got a chance to link up and do this. Congratulations on the win the other night, man. I look forward to watching your career continue to grow, man.
No problem, man. You too have a blessed day now, okay?
You too, my man. We'll talk again soon, man.
I got you.
All right, later, Jeffrey. There he goes, folks. The Baskin Shark, Jeffrey Hudson Jr., fresh off a victory the other night, man. And listen, another great young fighter, another great conversation in the books. I don't know how I do it. I'm going to brag a little bit just because Jeffrey got me pumped up, man. I'm going to market a little bit now. I'm going to toot my own horn. So beep, beep. Get out of the way. We're coming through. Anyway, I'm getting a little fired up myself here, man. Ooh, I gotta calm down a little, man. Jeffrey stirred it up in here. Anyway, another great conversation, another great young fighter, another great ambassador for the sport, future champion, guy that's going to carry the torch. Boxing is going to be okay. We see it time and time again when we have these young fighters on here, man. The sport is in good hands, going in a great direction. These guys are not only skilled fighters, they're great businessmen. Like I said, ambassadors, marketers, good heads on their shoulders, just guys that we want representing this amazing sport. And there's another one right there, man. Jeffrey Hudson Jr. Again, you guys know where I stand. Love to have the OGs on. Love to talk to the legends. But what really gets me pumped up is having future champions, the future stars of the sport. Love to see where boxing is headed and who's taking it there. And listen, man, I'm happy with the results. Time and time again, I'm doing these interviews, and it's one great young fighter after another. And shout out to Ohio. Salute. A lot of them are from there. Great boxing community out there, man. Absolutely, man. They're showing up, showing out, and listen, churning out some amazing young talent. So, props to Ohio. And so again, Jeffrey Hudson, the Baskin Shark, 5-0, all of them by way of knockout. He is off to a fast start in his career, and I can't wait to see where his career goes. Going to be exciting to watch him. It's going to be exciting to have him back on the podcast. And really, another guy that I'm looking forward to doing his thing, man, and watching his career develop and grow. So, again, thank you, Jeffrey Hudson Jr. Appreciate the conversation. And now I'll go into promotion mode once again. Don't even know if I even got the promotion in the last time before you got in here. But I'm going to pimp the podcast. The pimp hand is feeling strong. And you know if you got a podcast, just like Jeffrey said, it's all about the marketing. I agree. Make sure to tap in with Off the Couch Boxing on Facebook. The page is Off the Couch Boxing and Pod Scum, both of my podcasts, one Facebook page. Tap in. You'll get updates on new episodes, when I'm dropping them, who will be on them, and any other big pertinent boxing news. If it's popping off in the fight game, I got you covered. You'll be in the loop, man, keeping my boxing brethren informed. And, of course, if you're watching here right now, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to smash that notification bell. This is where you really need to be, folks. And the proof is in the pudding. Go check out the previous 280 episodes. See what we do here on Off the Couch Boxing, having these amazing conversations, bringing the art of conversation back with the best and brightest in the fight game. It's what we do here, and it's why we are the undisputed, undefeated heavyweight champion of boxing content, podcast. Check the content. That's all you got to do. It speaks for itself. And like I say it all the time, there's something there for everybody. It's a treasure trove. That's right. A treasure trove of amazing interviews. I'm super proud of all the work that we've done. Shout out to my co-host, Frankie the Flamethrower Benjis, who was on the first 160 episodes and still pops in here from time to time. That's my boy, my son, my co-host. So listen, I'm proud of what we've built, what we've grown, an independent boxing podcast that is really starting to flourish, really gaining traction. And of course, thank you to the viewers. Thank you to the subscribers. Most importantly, thank you to the guests, always generous with their time. And without them, could not do this, could not have this platform, could not bring you this amazing boxing content. But make no mistake, we are the undisputed, undefeated heavyweight champion of boxing podcasts. And more than happy to defend the title. Bring it on. I will put the content up against anybody out there doing it. And the good news is you at home can be a champion too. Yes, you can. Just like us, you can be a champion, and you're already on your way because it's only one simple ingredient. All you got to do is continue to stay tapped in with Off the Couch Boxing and continue to roll with the champs. Peace.